What's up, gang gang? Happy Friday, good people. It's me, Kim Brown. We are here to burn it down. The name of the show is called Burn It Down with Kim Brown because this is a safe space to set oppression ablaze. Because you actually, shit, we might just need to push oppression down the steps at this point because don't get me wrong, oppression is still, old man strong out here, but even still, I feel as though that bitch is wobbly and just ready, looking like Joe Biden falling up the steps. Can we just give oppression a good shove? Anyway, how's everybody doing? I'm very excited to see y'all in the spit out with me tonight. We've got a great program in store. We've got a number of updates to get to, including the latest update. It's not a good one from Brittney Griner out of Russia. It's not looking good for sis right now, and I don't know what the future is going to hold, but it's still very important that we let Brittany know and the world know, the Biden administration know, the Kremlin know, that we are going to stand for our sis out here until she is able to come home. And conversely, I think that means standing with Victor Boot, which I'm okay with. Free Victor Boot, free Brittney Griner. I think it's a very simple equation there. Also, I'm going to get into a little bit of news from the Amazon labor union. They've kind of had a mixed bag of recent events with the Albany location failing to achieve the union there during that election. But of course, we know that Amazon has been engaging, as Kalechi says, in higgy haga, big time union busting efforts, intimidation. And now we're discovering that not only was Amazon targeting labor union organizers for firing, for punishments, for cut shifts, for a variety of things, they were also specifically targeting disabled workers. Amazon's not alone in that practice, but we are going to look at the ways that Amazon was targeting some of its disabled employees, and how fucked up that is, okay? There's no way around that. Y'all come on in here. Who we got up in the spit out tonight? I see my mods, Steady Moddin, my sis Court, my bruv Latif. Who else we got in here? I see Donnie, afraid not. Tyler, my son, is here. We have, of course, my good sis Shirley in the spot. Thank you so much to Holly come through. What up, John Kemper? What up, Big Teal? What up, Anna Hart? Oh, I'm gonna post a thing, Anna. So it's this weekend. Yes, it is. This weekend is the additional disability support chat. If you're on Patreon, if you're a YouTube member, I'll post that. If you want the deets, if you are neither of those things and you still want to participate, hit up Anna Hart. She will give you the good info on that. Quaker anarchist is in the building. Infinite content. I thought you had to work Fridays, my good bruv. I'm glad to see you in here. Look at I be knowing y'all schedules and shit. I'm telling you, we got a familia here at Burn It Down with Kim Brown. I got Mama Lorraine in the house. I love to see that as well. So y'all just get on in here, kick your feet up. Unless your feet smell like corn chips, then put your socks back on. No judgment, but just put your socks back on. It's not a big deal. All right, I'm happy to see everybody. Come through. We got a lady 747. I'm so glad to see everybody. So yup. We got a great show. All right, so couple of quick thingamawhatsits. The fuck am I trying to say? Oh, tonight the AMA. I should have mentioned that Tuesday. I done forgot. Plum forgot. The final Friday of every month, we do a Ask Me Anything for the Fire Fam. It's a Patreon and YouTube member exclusive. So if you want to participate and get with the good shit, you can just be a part of those groups anytime after now. We take questions. We shoot the shit for an hour or two. Sometimes those AMAs can get lengthy, but they fly by. They're really a lot of fun. So if you want to hang out tonight with the AMA, that's going to be happening. Let's say about 8:30. I like to give myself a little time. I gotta feed the dog. Peace, 40J Blaze come through. I gotta feed the dog and roll up and shit. So about 8:30. Eastern time. Hey, Damien, Stoner Loners in here. Our UK contingent. He's trying to stay up and hang out with us. I appreciate that so much. All right. Now, what was on my main agenda today? What's that say in the headline? Cops are the crime wave. I have to laugh at all these pearl clutching mainstream media news stories. Oh, crime, the crime. What are we going to do about the crime? Oh my God, it's giving me big precursor to 1994 crime bill energy. I'm like, Jesus, they're going to start locking niggas up again for stems and seeds and jaywalking and broken taillights. Oh my God. They still doing three strikes, ain't they? Jesus. Well, here's the thing. The problem is they doing all of this crime enforcement with the wrong people. You understand? It is actually, well, there's a lot of people out here committing crime. We could start with big corporations, first of all, with wage theft and the wealth transfer from poor to rich. That is absolutely criminal. We could always point the finger at the U.S. military, at carbon emitting industries for damaging and polluting the environment. Absolutely criminal. But we don't see law enforcement sicked on those people. No, we see law enforcement sicked on poor people, and poor people are the blame for this so-called rise in crime, even though most statistics indicate that even in big cities, violent crime is down. Property crime might be up because guess what? People are hungry. So guess what? They might steal some shit. Who can blame them? I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. Now, I don't support the carjacking because people need their cars. And around here, carjacking seems to be like the in thing to do. The kids is out here jacking cars like, whew, like it's 93. It's crazy. But anyway, I digress. But the police is out here the ones causing and doing a lot of major crimes. And I have a few examples of such that I would like to present to you all today. Now, a couple of y'all tagged me on some of these stories. Let me big up Infinite Content. Let me also big up Quaker Socialist, Anarchist, for tagging me on a couple of these stories. I appreciate y'all doing so. I do see the things, even though if I don't respond, because you guys know me, me and Shirley get easily overwhelmed. So if me and Shirley ain't replying back to your messages, not because me and Shirley is not fucking with you, it's because we get overwhelmed. Ain't that right, Shirley? Me, because I'm right there with you. When Shirley was describing that shit, I said, damn. I said, that sound like me. But yeah, so you have to be patient with me and Shirley. But anyway, the first story I want to bring you guys is straight out of home. Washington, D.C. Well, it's not home. D.C. is my neighbor. We'll call D.C. my neighbor. At my neighbors next door, Washington, D.C., Metropolitan Police, fucking terrible out here. The only thing Metropolitan Police does well, I would say, is because I've been to many protests and demonstrations. I have not had a problem with MPD in those specific instances. Usually they are decent at crowd control. Where they fall down on the job is when they are over policing the black areas of DC, where they are targeting young people, where they seem to find. Anyway, hold on, I'm getting off track. I'm getting off track. Anyway, let's start with DC. The Metropolitan Police, a flawed, deeply flawed police department, as you can imagine. Well, part of what they have been doing, they have been targeting legal marijuana dispensaries. Now, mind you, back in 2014, DC legalized marijuana, but because Washington, D.C. has congressional oversight, it's legalized in a very, very weird way. Like it's available for medicinal purchase if you have a card, right? You could go into the dispensary if you have a card, go in, make your purchase. If you don't have a card, some places they'll let you buy something else and give you the weed as a quote unquote gift, right? And that is the alleged loophole that a lot of these marijuana stores have been operating off of. And guess what? If the shit is legal, if the shit is fucking legal, do that shit. Make all that money. And trust me, these dispensaries are making a ton of fucking money. And guess what? The police don't really like the police, the marijuana dispensaries making all of that money. as Will so astutely pointed out before the show, he said, because I showed him the story, he was like, yep, the cops don't want these places making that money without them. I said, you are right, young man. I said, you have hit that nail directly on the head. So I want us to take a look at this package. This came out maybe about a week and some change ago, and it focuses on a Georgetown area store called Mr. Nice Guy. Mm. we already like him. So Mr. Nice Guy has been legally slanging this weed for a number of years, but over the past 3 years or so, they have been targeted by Metropolitan Police, by DC Police, repeatedly for raids. Okay, now, here's the issue. Well, wait, maybe I'll let the package describe the issue. So I will come back with subsequent issues, but you guys check out this package in BC for Washington and listen to how the Metropolitan Police in DC has robbed this business for literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yup, thieves. Let's check it out.
The owners of a D.C. cannabis company are suing the city. They claim police officers seized more than $700,000 in cash during raids.
And in each case, the charges were dropped or the attorney general chose not to prosecute. Well, now they want their money back. News 4's Walter Morris is in Northwest with the latest.
August 2021, security cameras rolling as DC police raid a popular cannabis business. Officers can be seen filing up the stairs and smashing an ATM before seizing cash and merchandise, arresting several people in the process. So far, all of the charges were either dropped or not prosecuted. And now, over a year later, the owners of Mr. Nice Guys DC say they want their money back.
It's exhausting to always have this uphill battle.
Like, where's the justice? They come in, kick in our doors, raid us, take our money.
Mr. Nice Guy's co-owners, Gregory Wimsat and Damian West, speaking with News 4 days after filing this lawsuit against the city, seeking $750,000 in damages. They say police have raided their stores multiple times over the past few years and seized hundreds of thousands of dollars. But despite the cases being dropped or dismissed, cops are still holding on to their cash.
Yeah, it's been close to about $800,000 in product and cash. What we specifically asked for in this case was just the cash. That's not including loss of damages of product. We've had other situations where they've actually banned us from our location.
Businesses like Mr. Nice Guys operate in the district under a legal loophole. Customers buy a product like a piece of art and get marijuana as a gift with purchase. Despite operating in what some call a legal gray area, these business owners say their case is black and white.
I'm going to be a voice for the people that don't have a voice. You know what I mean? I'm not going to stand for it. We have done nothing wrong. We're operating in a gray space that they created, and only thing we want is our money back.
And we did reach out to the Office of the Attorney General, but they declined to comment on the case. In Northwest.
Yep. Okay, so that was NBC4 reporting on the exploits of Mr. Nice Guy there in Georgetown. And you guys, when I did Google when I did my internet searches, I found yet another piece regarding this, because Mr. Nice Guy has been raided a lot of times. I could count at least 3 to 4 different reported occasions by local media in which this smoke shop has been raided. And Will, you don't have this article. I'm gonna read from this real quick. Bagheera wanted to come in and check on the situation. So if you hear Bagheera in here panting behind me, that's what's going on. But there is a piece that appeared back in 2020, and this is from the georgetowner.com. And it says police raid Mr. Nice Guys again. Okay, now this is 2020. Mind you, the NBC4 piece we just saw was pertaining to a 2021 raid. So this article is from 2020. For the second time in 3 months, Mr. Nice Guys, a CBD smoke shop at the corner of 33rd Street and Wisconsin Avenue in Northwest Washington in Georgetown, was raided by police in SWAT gear. 8 armed and helmeted Metropolitan Police officers smashed the front door of the store on Thursday afternoon, January 30th, reportedly seizing marijuana-infused edibles, products, and cash, among other items. No one was inside at the time. Yep, this has been reported upon quite a lot, and I'm not exactly sure what it is about Mr. Nice Guys that the DC police, the Metropolitan Police, continue to target. But what is very clear is that these gentlemen, these proprietors, are not doing anything illegal. Because guess what? If they was, the Attorney General, the DC Attorney General, Carl Racine, will be more than happy to hit them with some charges. And he has not done that. So obviously, nothing illegal is going on. But the only thing illegal that is demonstrably happening is that these legitimate business owners are being routinely thieved, routinely robbed by Metropolitan Police officers in SWAT gear, in helmets, armed, smashing their front doors, stealing their product, and outright robbing them of cash. How was this not illegal? and what I got from it, obviously, this is shit the cops have been doing for fucking ever, right? The only difference here is that they're robbing a legitimate business, even though I'm sure police rob legitimate businesses all the time. But we know for a fact that robbing drug dealers was part of the modus operandi of American police, right? Not even necessarily trying to take people to jail for the drugs. They just want to steal the cash and the drugs and the guns, a la the Baltimore Gun Trace Task Force. Again, just one of many, many, many examples of police doing this shit. So it sounds like to me that the Metropolitan Police Department is a sanctioned armed robbery unit. Except they're not investigating armed robberies. They're the ones committing the armed robberies. Can you fucking imagine the police sitting on damn near $750,000 of your money and they won't fucking give it back? So this lawsuit has been filed. I'm going to keep an eye on this because I obviously they have standing, they have grounds. I can't imagine a scenario in which civil asset forfeiture would apply in this situation because again, no charges were filed. Nobody has been prosecuted for whatever it is that the Metropolitan Police allege that these business owners are doing. Bagheera, can you sit down? I need you to sit. Sit. Nobody told you to come in here. Oh my gosh. The thing about bully breeds, they will bully the fuck out your ass. But no matter what the scenario. I digress. So anyway, so that's one example of the police being the main ones out here committing the crimes. We want to send a big up to Mr. Nice Guy, to those two cuties, those two cute young fellows who are getting their money stole by Metropolitan Police, and I hope that the courts are able to grant them some sort of recourse. Bagheera, get from under the desk. Hey, sis, oh my gosh. Does anybody want a 14-year-old dog? She's housebroken. Did she unplug the fucking light? Bagheera. Oh my God. Will, can you pop the graphic up or something? Y'all, give me a second. Let me try to plug this light in. Oh, this is a live show. Excuse me. Pardon me. Bagheera, that was rude. Damn it. Bagheera, get out of here. I'm so sorry. Like now I'm getting irritated because this dog is in here and she's fucking up my show. Why did she come in here? Bagheera, get from under this goddamn desk. No, sit down. How do y'all actually deal with human children? I have a dog, and I want to punt her across the field. How do y'all deal with actual kids that could come in here and start talking and shit? Now, she might as well be talking because she's in here panting her face off. Hey, Sus, ayúdame, por favor. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let me try to get refocused. Are y'all laughing? Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Oh my God. Anyway, hold on. Let me reset myself. Let me try to get my shit together. Anyway, hold on. While I'm trying to refocus myself, thank you all so much for taking the time to be here to watch the show. Please give the video a like, a thumbs up, a subscription if you're interested in participating in tonight's AMA at hopefully 8:30 if Bagheera doesn't keep fucking me up. become a member and you could be in there with your questions. I already saw Tyler has deposited a question on Patreon. I see the Gamondis have already put up some questions. Bagheera, if you walk under this fucking desk. So join us. Join us. And if you also would not mind giving us a follow, different places around the internet at BIDWKB. You can find us there on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, over on Twitch. Thank you so much to Northern Witch modding for us over on Twitch. And if you want to support the channel materially, with some money, you can run us a super chat, which is always appreciated. You could become a patron. Our tier starts at the very low $2 a month. Same thing with our YouTube membership, only $1.99, $2 a month. Or, oh, look at someone ran us some boxes, infinite content. Yay. Thank you so much, infinite content. You can also hit us up, Cash App, BIDWKB, Venmo at BIDWKB, PayPal.me/BIDWKB. What you say here, infinite content? Infinite content ran, no. I mean, infinite content is telling Will to clip to clip this for the year-end show. Oh my God, we should do a year-end show. Yes, the time that Big Era came in and started unplugging things from right underneath me as we were in the middle of the live broadcast. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for that infinite content. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a second. I have to let her out because I cannot do this for 30 to 40 more minutes. It's not for Bagheera. I need you to get the hell out of here. Come on. Out. Out. Okay. Let me try to get my shit together. Yeah. Oh my God. It's a good thing I drank some coffee beforehand. Anyway, anywho. Thank you, Bagheera, for making your appearance and throwing the thing off the thing. All right, so let's get back to what the fuck we was talking about, how the police is out here committing crimes. And I have to say, this next story coming out of Kansas City, Kansas, it really flew under my radar. And I appreciate Quaker Socialists slash anarchists for tagging me on this because I happened to see it. And I said, what? Because we were just talking about Kansas City this past week with the revelation that an Excelsior Springs man was charged with the kidnapping and rape of a 22-year-old Black woman, whom the young woman, the victim, alleges that the man from Excelsior Springs, Missouri, killed two of her friends. This is all the while community organizers and Black independent media like the Kansas City Defender were trying to warn police that women were going missing from the area of 85th and Prospect, but police ignored them, and has tried to discredit the reporting of the KC Defender and community leaders, saying that their allegations of a serial killer were unfounded. I'm watching the KC Defender to get the story from that because the local Kansas City media truly cannot be trusted. And here's an example truly of how the media can't be trusted when it comes to listening and believing the accounts. Let me say local mainstream outlets, because again, the KC Defender was on it. But local mainstream outlets cannot be trusted when the perpetrator against public safety is a member of the police department. If we could pop up that KCUR.org article. KCUR is the NPR affiliate there in Kansas City, and what they are doing is a series, called Overlooked. It's an investigative podcast, and they're exploring the story of Detective Roger Golubski, who is a detective over in Kansas City, Kansas, right over the state line. The Kansas City metro area is big and small at the same time. It's really kind of interesting. Like, there's definitely the city area, KC, Missouri, but in KCK is right over the line. It's a little smaller. I would say a smidge bit slower pace to me over there on the Kansas side, but good Midwestern folks out there. But Missouri is racist and as fucking segregated as they come. And I was unhappy my time out there. But let me read a bit from not this piece, but a separate piece from KCUR. So if you could keep one or both of them up, Will, while I give this a read, because again, the arrest of this detective came back in September, and again, it flew completely under my radar. But KCUR had reported back in September when Golubski had been arrested because, number one, he was charged and arrested by the FBI. So clearly, the local Kansas, Missouri police, they wasn't giving a single fuck about what Detective Golubski was out here doing. But this is what this says. It says Golubski worked for the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department for 35 years, retiring as a captain back in 2010. For years, he has been the subject of allegations that he has terrorized Black residents in the city, sexually assaulted women, and exchanged drugs for information in order to clear cases. And my deepest apologies for not giving a trigger warning before I got into the story. I'm trying to get better about that. So Golubski, was indicted by a federal grand jury. He was a detective for the Kansas City, Kansas police, and they charged him with 6 counts of depriving individuals of their civil rights and accusing him of sexual assault, kidnapping, and attempted kidnapping. Golubski was arrested Thursday. This again was back in September. Thursday morning by FBI agents who descended onto his home in Edwardsville, Kansas. The 6-count indictment alleges that Golubski sexually assaulted an individual identified as SK back in 1998 and another individual identified as OW in 1999. In the first case, Golubski is accused of forcibly performing oral sex, forcibly having oral sex with penetration with SK on multiple occasions while in or next to Golubski's vehicle. In the second case, he is accused of sexually assaulting OW while in OW's house. The piece also goes on to describe, again, he was arraigned. That was, again, back in September. They had him shackled up. I'm glad to see it. He's got a Topeka-based attorney, and in this piece goes on to describe his health ailments. He's an end-stage renal failure. He had a quadruple bypass, and you know what? You could choke on all that shit, my guy. You could choke on that cholesterol. You could choke on those clogged arteries. You could choke on that kidney going downhill, sir, because hell is what you deserve. Golubski is 69 years old. He has been the subject of federal grand jury investigation for more than a year. Now, here's my guess. Hold on, let me just get this last part out. KCUR confirmed the FBI investigation last January, obtaining subpoenas from a federal grand jury when demanding, which demanded that the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department hand over records covering 2 decades of homicide cases, internal affairs reports, and informant files as part of what appeared to be a wide-ranging investigation. The subpoenas revealed a search for information, on homicide cases covered that covered the years Golubski worked at the KCKPD as a KCKPD police detective through 2010, the year that he retired. Oh, isn't it lovely that he was allowed to terrorize the community for 35 years and then retire? I'm sure he's still getting his pension. I'm sure he's still getting his fucking pension. Um, and so, despite the fact that this person has been arrested, it doesn't even fucking matter. I mean, it matters, don't get me wrong, but 35 years. And I'm sure the things that he is charged with, this 6-count indictment back in September, I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg. Can you imagine not only all the potential victims of sexual assault that are likely on his resume, but I'm guessing there's probably a lot of people framed in prison off of false information or intentional bad policing. Um, false evidence, planted evidence. I mean, why would he stop at sexual assault, coercion, and intimidation? Why not go all the way? Just throw innocent people in fucking jail, right? Not beyond the scope of possibility here. Thank you so much, Quaker, for tagging me on this. And I'm going to actually start this podcast series by KCUR. And, and again, some of these NPR affiliates, I'm loath, I'm loath to give them much credit on their reporting because, NPR is a mainstream outlet, right? I mean, there is no way around that. And they do propaganda like the rest of them do propaganda. But sometimes when there's such a story, a glaring story of police misconduct, I mean, the mainstream outlets can't help but to pick it up, right? Or y'all gonna just simply be embarrassed for ignoring a story of that magnitude in the community. Interesting, though. I mean, that Detective Golubski, Kansas City, Kansas, and then the Kansas City, Missouri police ignoring the community's pleas when begging them to investigate allegations regarding a potential serial killer with all these missing and murdered Black women. Funny how that works. The next case I wanted to get to, because I mean, again, y'all know this. If we wanted to do cop say shit every hour, if we wanted to do cop say shit every show, Tuesday and Friday, 7 to 8, we could easily do that. I mean, this could be a cops ain't shit show. That just sounds funny, but it could be. Easily. Do you know why? Because the cops ain't shit. And because the cops are out here committing the majority of the fucking crime. And what's so interesting is that, the crimes committed by police are never counted with crime statistics. Crimes committed by police usually are tracked by independent organizations that are relying largely on media reports. So, for all the cops that get indicted or get charged or take plea deals, and if they happen to live in a place where the local media is content to do propaganda and even do propaganda by omission, by not reporting on certain things, we can't even truly measure the amount of crime that police commit. And they're the ones getting the overwhelming majority of the money, of the taxpayers' money. Not the school system, not the healthcare system, not cleaning up the environment. Nope, police and military. I do not like it here. Please, Jesus, send me a rocket. Let's go to the Philadelphia Inquirer. Infinite content. This one's going out to you. Infinite content tagged me on this. I said, "This is, whew, these motherfuckers just they still in drugs, they still in money, they assaulting women, they framing people, and of course, they running the guns. How else all these fucking guns get into the hands of people who usually cannot afford guns, right? Hi, Dios mío. Okay, so this is from the Inquirer. Guns used in a Roxborough high school shooting later end up in the hands of a Philadelphia sheriff's deputy. Okay, and this Bama, Samir Ahmad. Samir, what the fuck is you doing, man? Samir Ahmad is a 4-year veteran of the department, was arrested while at work last week as part of an FBI gun trafficking investigation. It bothers me that the FBI is the ones catching up with these stuff. I mean, I guess who else was going to catch up with them, right? Because what are the cops going to investigate themselves? Ha ha ha. But the FBI is the cops, and they are investigating themselves. Two of the guns used in a shooting outside of Roxborough High School last month, which left a 14-year-old dead and 14s injured, later ended up in the hands of a Philadelphia sheriff's deputy who then illegally resold the weapons to a federal informant, according to court filings unsealed Thursday. Samir Ahmad, 29 years old, is a 4-year veteran of the department, was arrested at work last week. Oh, they came to his job. I wonder if Samir was in uniform. Where's that video? I would love to see that. Yes. Put that motherfucker in jail. Put him in jail. that came to his job was arrested at work last week as part of the FBI gun trafficking investigation, the records say. Back in April, an informant set up a controlled gun buy with Ahmad, where he paid Ahmad $1,150 for a Smith & Wesson 38 Special revolver, bullets. Damn, that 11 hundo for a street gun for a 38. That sounds high. And bullets. Shit. According to the records. Now, Ahmad had also offered to sell the informant some Percocet. Oh, he was slanging pills too, according to the court filing. He said, "Hey, bro, I got this 38. I also got some perks. You want some perks? I got some perk 50s. Got them perks." Fucking cop, sheriff's deputy. Fuck out of here. Investigators continued to monitor Ahmad. And in October, they set up another undercover buy. This dumbass motherfucker getting set up. The informant was wearing a video and audio recording device. They met Ahmad outside of his North Philadelphia home on October 13th with a plan to buy $3,000 worth of guns, according to the records. Ahmad told the informant that they would have to wait for another person to deliver the guns. As they waited, the informant said that he was not a U.S. citizen and was worried that he could be deported if caught with the guns. Scroll. Sorry. He said, quote, "You don't got to worry about none of that," Ahmad said, according to the record. Eventually, a car pulled up and Ahmad approached it and retrieved the guns, records say. Scroll. Sorry. Ahmad sold the informant 2 Glock pistols for $3,000. Now, that sounds like maybe a deal. 2 Glocks for $3,000, the records say, and also offered to sell him a third. He said, "Buy 2, get another one." The night before Ahmad was arrested, he sold another semi-automatic pistol and more than 50 grams of methamphetamine to the informant. This nigga was wildin'. He was selling. Samir was a one-stop shop. What you need? Samir got your guns. Samir got bullets. Samir got the drugs. Sounded like a typical cop. Got it all. After the sale, federal investigators conducted a trace on the weapons, a standard procedure that determines where a gun was originally brought and whether or not it is linked to any crimes. Well, turns out, the trace showed that the 2 Glocks sold back in October had been used just 2 weeks earlier in the shooting outside of Roxborough High School. Can you believe that? According to the records, where 5 shooters, does that say, am I reading that right? Where 5 shooters unleashed more than 60 bullets at a group of teens, leaving a football scrimmage. 4 teens, ages 14 to 17, were injured. And Nicholas, Nicholas Elzalde died. That's sad. The court recordings did not explain how Ahmad came to be in possession of these guns used in the shooting or accuse him of having a direct link to the crime. Prosecutors declined comment, as did his attorney. So Ahmad has been charged with firearms trafficking, selling and transferring a firearm to a non-U.S. national citizen. During a brief hearing, federal court on Thursday, Ahmad agreed through his attorneys not to fight government efforts to keep him detained until his trial. 29 years old. Black cop. Stop selling them pistols. You all got to stop. I guess you don't really get paid a whole lot. Well, that's a lie. Woo, he got the perks. He got the meths. He got the pistols. Samir had it all. Looks like Samir's going down. So if you ever want to know, like, who's keeping the guns on the street? Who's keeping the drugs on the street? Who is out here robbing legitimate businesses of nearly $1 million? Look no further than your local unfriendly police department. Okay, look no further than your unfriendly police department, because they is out here robbing people left and right. They is out here slinging guns left and right. They're out here dealing drugs left and fucking right. And I would love to see the Department of Justice investigation into that, my nigga. I understand the FBI caught up this young sheriff's deputy from out of Philadelphia, but that's not enough. That is not enough. That is taking a teaspoon to the ocean and think that you were actually making a dent in the vastness of the problem. No. All of these police are crooked. All cops are bastards. Cops ain't shit. Frontwards, backwards, upside, downside. It don't matter. Black cop, white cop, good cop, bad cop, all bad cops. Okay, all cops are bastards. Fret not about this crime wave, everybody, because hopefully, if these police departments continue to not be able to staff up, well, I don't know what the fuck to say. It's going to come after that. I was going to say maybe they send the money back, but that's a silly notion. What a silly thing to say, Kim. What a silly thing to say. Let me take a quick little pause for the calls here. Again, I'm still trying to reset myself, realign my chakras. Bagheera came in here and fucked me all up. Fucked me all up with no qualms. She didn't give no fucks. Did you see her? She just stomped on in here. She didn't give a goddamn what was happening. What was happening in this room. She didn't care. She's going to walk all underneath my desk, unplug my lamp. Hey, oh my gosh. So there's that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for taking the moment to be here with me tonight. Big up to Molly. Did you guys see Molly on Status Quo with me on Wednesday? We were talking reproductive justice. We were talking abortion access and restrictions, most importantly. Go check out that episode of Status Quo, the Wednesday episode. I think Herschel Walker is in the headline. I refuse to talk about Herschel on this channel, but I will go over there and talk about Herschel, because I can't care. I don't care enough about Herschel over here, but I will care about enough about Herschel to go drag Herschel over there. This fucking Herschel. This nigga. Oh God. Do y'all know? I mean, because I know it's not going to be funny in the serious scheme of things, should Herschel get elected senator, but do y'all know how much I'm going to laugh if Herschel gets elected senator? So I'm going to laugh. I find the whole thing ridiculous. Hey, look at you, Latif. Latif has upgraded his membership to accelerants. I forgot how these were named. Our tiers. Thank you, Latif. Thank you so much for all your support. Big up Infinite Content. What you say here? Infinite Content said, hold the fuck up. Those little guns were used in the commission of a crime. Why weren't they in evidence lockup? He just wrecked that murder trial, that murder case. Possibly. You might be right. Again, look, first of all, big up to everybody that went to the hearing held this week, I believe, in support trying to get Mumia Abu Jamal a new trial. Jared popped up on the Remix Morning Show and gave us a live report from right there in the in the courtroom. But Infinite, like I said, dog, of course Mumia was framed. Make no mistake about it. Or they really don't have the evidence to keep him there. Let's put it that way. And the amount of brothers that have been specifically released because of shady police investigations, planted evidence, people getting framed. Obviously, they're playing fast and loose up there in Philly, but not just Philly, though. I can't even just, I say up there and wherever you are, but no, it's everywhere. They're framing people. They are blowing cases. They don't give a goddamn. My guy, Samir, said he had to slang them guns. Infinite. Samir said there was money to make. He said them guns were just sitting there and lock up, not making no money. He had to make sure them guns got put to good use. Put them bitches back on the street. Put them back on the street. Oh my God. Let's see. Where am I going here next? I just wanted to take a peek. Okay. We got a cool little crowd up in here. I'm glad to see everybody. Come on in. Hey, Northern Wedge. Hashtag free Mumia. You better say that, sis. You better say that. So, the next place I'm going here on the show, we are going to fuck. Oh, wait. Yeah. Let's go. Let's just keep it pushing. So, I wanted to give an update on Brittney Griner. As you guys know, Brittney was found guilty of possession of hashish oil. I'm sorry, like I still have my doubts that this woman was ever even in possession of what she was accused of possessing. I know she pled guilty. I know she admitted to having it. I know she said that it was part of her pain relief, which obviously all very legitimate. But I find it very hard to believe that this international traveler would have brought from America with her hashish cartridges, smoked them whilst in Russia, and then gonna bring the empty ones. She gonna pack the empty ones back in her bag. Is that what the fuck I'm supposed to believe? As often as motherfuckers travel or to have thought about traveling with drugs, is that what you do? You bring in your contraband? I just don't believe it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But I digress. It's really neither here nor there at this point. Brittney's looking at 9 years, and there was a appeal this week held in a Russian court, and her appeal was denied. So the next move, tragically for Brittney, is headed to the penal colony, which sounds like just just a unbelievable situation for this woman to be dealing with right now. I wanted to take a look at this clip from the New York Times. They had cameras outside of the courtroom. I believe this had to have been Moscow. And they spoke with one of the representatives from the U.S. Embassy there in Russia, and also spoke with Brittney's Russia appointed lawyer there, who communicated, I guess, whatever the fucking Biden position is. There's that, and was able to communicate some of Brittney's feelings after the denial of this appeal. So let's take a look at that.
I've been here almost 8 months, and people with more severe crimes have gotten less than what I was given. I want to also apologize for this mistake. I said in my first court that yes, I plead guilty. I did not intend to do this, but I understand the charges brought against me, and I just hope that that is also taken into account.
The appeals court made a slight reduction in her sentence for time served in pretrial detention, but otherwise did not change the excessive and disproportionate sentence of 9 years in a penal colony. Nothing in the previous sentence, nothing in the result of today's appeal changes the fact that the United States government considers Ms. Griner to be wrongfully detained.
What are your possible next legal steps?
It's the cassation, the second appeal. Yes, that's the possible legal option. It is her decision to make. We think we should use all the available legal tools, but she will be the one who will take the decision.
Do you think that the swap is possible now?
We hope so.
And when we can expect it?
We are not involved in any negotiations. We do not know any details. So we have no comments regarding this swap. She is the one who is the most disappointed today. Of course.
She looks like very, very doomed today, more than she was previously, more frustrated and disappointed.
Because she had some hopes, and these hopes vanished today.
I can only imagine what Brittney must be going through. I mean, just utter hell. Understanding that, like she said, from in a cage in the courtroom, that this is an extremely harsh sentence, right? Especially given the scale. I mean, they try to give Brittney trafficking time. You know what I'm saying? Not like minor possession time. They giving her like big time. 9 years in the penal colony, and she is about to start to begin that sentence there. very, very shortly. And she is going to be subject to extremely harsh conditions, harsher than I would imagine that she has been experiencing while locked up. I'm pretty sure she's been locked up in Moscow this whole time. But when they sent her to the penal colony, that is the gulag. You know what I'm saying? They talk about the Russian gulag. That is where she is going. I'm thinking about the one of the members of Pussy Riot. Is her name Nadia Tolokonnikova? They sent Nadia to the fucking gulag because she was out there protesting, talking shit about Putin, and Nadia got out. She's done now. Um, but I'm sure she is still experiencing some of the psychological after effects of being incarcerated, especially under such harsh conditions. So, of course, we want to continue to send love and solidarity to Brittney Griner, to Brittney's family, to everybody trying to look out for Brittney. Speaking of looking out for Brittney, I'm hoping that the Biden administration is considering Russia's offer of a prison swap, Brittney Griner for Victor Boot. We've talked about Victor Boot on this show a lot. The alleged merchant of death. Now, Jackie says, Jackie Lookma says that Victor did the shit that he is accused of doing. But there was some flammery in the way that they was able to get Victor. But then Victor was out here selling guns, right? Whatever, man, whatever. If he was funding and supplying leftist forces against American-backed imperialist, whatever the fucking Colombia, I'm with the shit. And Victor Boot gave me personally a shout out, which is why another reason why we fuck with Victor Boot. So anyway, free Brittney Griner. But if that means freeing Victor Boot, then free Victor Boot. Get Victor Boot out of the Supermax. Get him out of there right now. If we want Brittney home, Russia says we will give you your WNBA player. Just give us back our arms dealer. A very even swap. And the Biden administration refuses to do so. And this prison exchange could be a potential opening for hopefully what would maybe be the start of some peace talks between the US, Russia, and Ukraine. I can't get into the letter sent by the Progressive Caucus urging for the peace talk. And then they said, psych, never mind. Lockheed Martin check just cleared. So we rescind that statement. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get into that shit because it will make me re-angry. But then at the same time, with a time, I won't say smugness. Maybe smugness is not the right word here. But I knew these progressive Democrats wasn't worth a goddamn. They wasn't worth a goddamn. Ain't no anti-war contingent in the U.S. Congress right now. It's very flimsy, but I digress. But I think if Biden is willing to send Victor Boot back, and Russia, I believe, would honor that deal and return Brittney Griner back, I think that could be the beginning. That could be the opening salvo of a potential peace talks. But of course, America doesn't want peace talks because they pulled out of Afghanistan. So now they need another direction, another place to spend all these military billions and trillions. Oh, look at that, Ukraine right there beefing with Putin. We'll just give them all the money. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, BAE Systems, all of these bitch ass motherfuckers still making it hand over fist thanks to that. But anyway, there was some solidarity shown for Brittney Griner this week here in Washington, D.C., outside of the outside of the Russian embassy. My deepest apologies. Outside of the Russian embassy, there was a protest held in support of Brittney Griner by activists. A couple of these activists I actually know. One of them was Adam Eidinger. Adam is he helped to organize the legalization, whatever it is, of marijuana in the district to help get that reform legislation passed. And he's been a very active guy. I've actually spoken at a couple of his rallies before when all the weed shit was happening. I think I went down there and spoke a couple times. Cool dude. I like Adam quite a bit. But I wanted to take a look at these clips of this protest outside of the Russian embassy. Let me make sure to credit the photojournalist who took these photos. This was Ford Fisher was the journalist out there capturing the pictures from this action. So, what we're going to see here, how this is going to open. So, the activists are outside of the Russian embassy. What they are doing, they are inflating a giant joint, okay, with Russian words on it. And they are about to be, how the clip opens, you're going to see Adam, he's wearing like a red hat. He's about to be approached by Secret Service, right? And it's a very friendly banter between the white people. It's just so funny to me. It's just so funny to see the way the police interact with some white activists. I know sometimes the police get hostile, but they get way more hostile with black and brown activists. Please believe that. We've seen that proof positive in different points here on this program. But anyway, you have Adam and the Secret Service, talking to each other, friendly. So anyway, so that's where it's going to pick up at. So let's take a look at these clips shot by Ford Fisher.
He takes a beloved basketball player in both the United States and Russia and turns her into a drug kingpin over what? Not this. I'll put this down for a second. I want to show you what this is all about. This little tip right here on this vape pen, just the tip. That's what this is about. This little thing. This little tiny thing is not 9 years behind bars. This is not a drug kingpin, as the Russian Federation has tried to spin the story of Brittney Griner into a drug kingpin. She is not a drug kingpin. She was using this medicinally. She had permission from her doctor to use this. This is total outrage. And we've been silent too long. We have to speak out. There's a human rights disaster happening in Russia and in Eastern Europe and Ukraine.
You got bud over there, man?
Yes, legal bud.
Legal bud?
Less than 2 ounces.
Less than 2 ounces. Yeah,
That's definitely less than 2 ounces. I weighed it before I had it.
Hey,
It's a prop.
it's a prop. It's a prop. It smells like a prop.
It grew right down the street in the backyard lawfully.
Adam.
Better light?
Time out. Sorry. 20-second time out. All right, here we go. Hey, don't go throwing it over the walls. Okay? Don't.
That's an arrestable offense, right?
Yes. Just to let you know. All right?
Okay, I'm actually, just for the record, standing on the sidewalk. I believe this is the property line right here. Although they butted out, maybe it's right here. So, let me use these as a prop, okay? Because I just got warned I'd be arrested and I don't want... It's a protest. It says, in Russian, it says free Brittney Griner. And free the Russians as well. So basically our message in Russian on the joint here is to free Brittney Griner.
Interesting pictures there from outside of the Russian embassy this week in Washington, D.C. Big up again to Adam Edinger. Adam's a good guy. I'll tell you a quick story. So again, I told you I've spoken at a couple of protests put on by Adam's group. Again, he was one of the driving forces to try to get weed legalized here in the district. And as you see, he's a big cannabis, rights activist. And oh, that's right. Okay, so we were outside or in proximity to the White House, and this was right before Obama was about to leave office. So the rally was there to try to convince Obama, with the stroke of a pen through executive action or executive order, to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule 1 narcotic, which I think it still currently is. And I can't believe that's still not done. So we were there at a rally trying to convince the president at the time to do that. And speaking to Adam on the phone, he asked me, did I intend on getting arrested? And I said, no, I did not plan on getting arrested. And I said to him, no, because, I don't know if my mom got bail money for me like that. And to his credit, he very quickly realized and checked his privilege. He said, I sometimes forget that, even getting arrested as an act of civil disobedience can have different consequences for different people. People may not be able to afford bail or there could be some other lingering consequences, ongoing actions for getting arrested in these sort of protests. So I appreciated him for recognizing the privilege he has as a white man, and then again, white man to the fullest, baby, but on the side of justice, on the side of righteousness. I support it. So I'm very glad to see that Brittney's name is still out here, being put forth as the prisoner that she is. Nobody should be in jail for any drugs. Nobody should be in jail. I don't know, maybe fentanyl. Maybe niggas should be in jail for fentanyl, but motherfuckers definitely should not be in jail for weed. Free everybody that is behind the wall right now for marijuana. Everybody, Brittney Griner, everybody, free them all. Free them all. Take a moment, if you could, everybody, to please give the video a like, a thumbs up, if you want to become a member to participate in tonight's AMA, allegedly starting at 8:30. Let me get my final story so I can properly feed Miss Bagheera so she doesn't harass me for the rest of the night, which she likely to do anyway. So, pardon me, guys. Sorry for belching in y'all's ear. I think I have the hiccups. Let me try to power through these hiccups. So the last story I wanted to touch on tonight has to do with Amazon. And the efforts of the Amazon labor union are not going unnoticed, most notably not going unnoticed by Amazon, right? Because after the victory at the JFK 8 location, where they successfully were able to unionize that location, the ALU has been facing a steady wave of union busting opposition from the most powerful corporation on the planet. Bessemer elections have been a little rough, and the most recent election there in upstate New York at the Albany location did not go the way that organizers hoped that it would go. In fact, I think the vote count, the final vote tally, I'm approximating here, but I remember the numbers vaguely. But anyway, in favor of the union was around 200 votes, opposed to the union was around 400 votes. And that was after many weeks of sustained illegal intimidation of organizers, other union busting efforts that not only Amazon, but we've seen a range of companies who have been facing potential organizing from their employees. These motherfuckers have been cheating, okay? Not only cheating, they are doing shit against the law, against the law. I want us to take a look, if we could. Number one, big up to Jordan Cheriton over there at Status Quo. Jordan had the opportunity to speak with one of the organizers there at the Albany location, one of the organizers from Amazon Labor. And they, when I heard this story and a subsequent story we're going to hear right after this, when I heard these stories, I said, oh, Jeff Bezos is absolutely a demon, because anyone that would create this sort of environment or this sort of entity that would allow this type of demonic activity, this type of outright and overt evil activity to try to intimidate vulnerable folks, disabled folks into manipulation of in many different forms. So we're going to see this clip from Status Quo where Jordan is speaking with one of the workers and one of the organizers there at the Albany location. And where the clip is going to begin, I think he asks her about the fires, the number of fires that have been outbreaking at Amazon warehouses and locations across the country. But at Albany, the worker there is going to let us know that there was 3 fires in 1 week. And then she is going to detail the ways in which Amazon management was trying to coerce a cognitively challenged employee into admitting to starting the fires. And if they couldn't get him to admit to start the fires, they was trying to get him to finger who? Chris Smalls. Unfucking believable, dog. Like, these motherfuckers is unbelievable. Let's check out this clip from Status Quo.
About it.
So there's actually 3 now. So we've had 3 in a week. Now, the first one was a person who does identify as a person with disability. And I want to touch on that for a moment because this particular worker does identify as a person with disability. And he was called into a meeting right after the fire, and he was asked if Christian Small set the fire, and this person with disability said no. And then they asked him if the ALU set the fire, and he said no. And then they proceeded to ask him if he set the fire. And of course, he said no. So the fact that they targeted this person with disability and in a vulnerable state to question and interrogate him about the fire, when we know that local authorities were investigating the fire, is a huge problem. So as of today, the first worker I just referred to about the fire is now suspended. Is now suspended. So he had also filed a complaint with the Division of Health and Human Services. And lo and behold, he received a call from Amazon's attorney telling him or asking him to propose a settlement amount. So clearly, they know that there is a liability factor. So that's the first person.
Can I just ask you on this person, call me a cynical journalist? Sounds to me like Amazon was bringing in somebody who maybe cognitively has some impairment to rope them into making false charges against somebody like Christian Smalls so that they could say, hey, one of the workers gave up Christian Smalls, set the fire.
Or to try to get him to make a statement that could have been misconstrued. So they definitely targeted 3 people that all have, I will say, similar challenges and can be, forced into a vulnerable situation where they may say something that could easily be conveyed as incorrect, or they could have manipulated that statement. So there was a clear malicious intent in all 3 of these cases. So now,
Can y'all hear me now? I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. I'm ready. I'm ready to go home. Oh, joke's on you, Kim. You are home. So everything's just going bad for no reason. Adios mio. So the clip that we just saw from Status Quo, that was Heather Goodall, who was the lead organizer for the Albany Union Drive. And she told Jordan that after the suspended worker with a disability filed a complaint with New York's health authorities, an Amazon lawyer reached out after attempting to reach a financial settlement. And the Albany location just recently lost its union election after multiple workers told Status Quo that Amazon's barrage of union busting consultants, quote, harassed them to vote no for weeks. Many workers also at the Albany location rather, felt intimidated that if they voted yes for the union, Amazon would find out and fire them. I want us to also look at really quickly some reporting from More Perfect Union, because they actually spoke with one of the original founders of the Amazon labor union from day, right? From day. Along with Chris Smalls, it was Jordan Flowers. And Jordan Flowers was targeted. Number one, Jordan is chronically ill. Okay. And they, Amazon that is, did not do anything to help his accommodation. And on top of that, because Jordan was targeted for his organizing efforts, the company actually recently fired him. This as he requires medical attention and medical treatment for his conditions. And he is the subject of an illegal firing on not just one front, but two fronts. You cannot fire people because of their disability, and you cannot fire people that are trying to organize their workplaces. So I want us to take a look at this snippet of reporting from More Perfect Union, speaking directly to Amazon Labor Union co-founder Jordan Flowers.
It's blood money, you know. It's the customers need to know what happens behind those walls. It's a terrible sight. My name is Jordan Flowers. I'm the co-founder and sergeant at arms of Amazon Labor Union. They terminated me. Well, they said I voluntarily resigned, which I've never did. All I did was keep fighting for accommodations. Amazon targets workers like me with medical issues and other workers with health issues that need disability accommodations, and they'd rather terminate them to save money instead of paying these workers that need help and, you know, see these doctors to be taken care of.
So that is a clip of the reporting from More Perfect Union. The clip actually goes on in very explicit detail about some of the medical conditions that Jordan is facing and some of the targeted harassment that he was subjected to by management at Amazon for his organizing efforts. And gang, you guys are looking at some of the most courageous people on the planet. It is hard for physically disabled people to go to work. Number one, to find a job that you can disclose your disability to, who will hire you in spite of your disability, because you are supposed to be able to work as a disabled person if you so choose and if you're able, right? So clearly, I don't know what Jordan's situation was. I don't know what even drove him to Amazon. But he made his conditions clear to the company, and they were supposed to accommodate him. Instead, they were giving him work that was physically taxing to him as someone who is experiencing renal failure. He can't lift things, right? But he was still expected to do physical work as part of his duties when the company, according to Jordan, could have very easily found accommodation for him doing something less physically strenuous. And when he began to organize, they continued targeting him. And I actually even think that the company fired him once before and was forced to bring him back. And now they have fired him once again. There is a GoFundMe posted. If you go to More Perfect Union Twitter page, or even if you go to the Amazon Labor Union's Twitter page, they have a GoFundMe posted for Jordan because, again, he needs medical expenses. And because we live in a broken, rotten, greedy, disgusting country, the way that people pay for their health care is through crowdfunding. We don't have nationalized health care here. It is shitty. It is terrible. It is awful that people have to rely on the kindness of strangers in order to fund their medical treatment. Welcome to America, the worst fucking country on earth. On earth. I hate it here so bad. So anyway, it's 8:18. I'm probably going to be a couple minutes late to this AMA. Give me about 8:35 because again, Miss Lady out here has fucked up my show and she will fuck up my AMA if I don't attend to her needs right away. So give me about till 8:35. I apologize for all the technical snafus, everybody. Y'all saw what happened. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do about a bossy fucking bully ass goddamn pit bull who wants to come in here and wreck my shit? So anyway, no, I don't blame Russia. I don't blame Russia. Big deal. I don't blame Russia. Russia didn't do it. It ain't Russia's fault. I blame the alphabet boys and Bagheera. So anyway, patrons and members, I'll see you guys. Give me about 15-ish minutes there on the thing. If you want to come hang out, you can become a member very easily. You can go to patreon.com/BIDWKB and get with the good shit as best as you are able. I think that's my show, everybody. So come back and hang out with us next week, Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Of course, you can catch me on Black Power Media, the Remix Morning Show. I think next week's going to be a good week for us. Gerard and Jacqueline, I think, are slated to return. It's been the Kim and Kamal show, dog. And I feel like me and Kamal and the Air Doctor are tired of looking at just each other. So it will be wonderful to get some of our comrades back in the rotation, will it not? So that is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern. And of course, catch me over on Status Quo Wednesday at 5 p. Guys, that's my time. Don't forget, COVID is out here jumping on people like shit. And they not telling, they say, it's the flu, it's RSV. Nigga, COVID. COVID-19 is turning 20 and that bitch ain't stopping. So please, please act like you have some sense out here. Put your mask on in indoor public spaces. Wash your hands, social distance. Just be careful out here. The shit is still bad, okay? I don't care what they say. The shit is still bad, okay? On behalf of Molly and Will, we will see y'all back here Tuesday. Thank you guys for your patience. I appreciate it. Thank you all for your support. Love y'all to pieces. See y'all later. Bye-bye.